Are you wearing my shirt again? I smiled, seeing my gorgeous wife sitting on the countertop, with a bowl of cereal in her hands, her legs dangling over the edge, wearing my shirt and nothing but. It's the way you liked seeing me, no? Evelyn replied innocently. That I do. She looked over at the baby monitor as soft babbling came from it. It appears our daughter is awake, will you go? Of course. Our daughter already stood up in her crib, leaning onto the edge, waiting for me to pick her up. She looked at me with her big green eyes, her blonde hair tousled, and the cutest laugh upon her face. Our little girl looked exactly like her mother. I kissed her little face before placing her in her baby chair for breakfast, reaching for the cereal. You shouldn't give her cereal, Evelyn said, sitting down next to our daughter. It's too much sugar. I forgot to do groceries, I mumbled. I don't have anything else right now. Fine, my wife sighed, turning her attention back to our daughter. Darling? 1 minute. Be sure to test on your hand first. Right. I smiled, shaking my head a little. She didn't even need to look up to know what I needed. The bottle was always a problem for me. I don't know what I'd do without you. That's why I'm still here, she smiled in return. She's healing well, Evelyn noted, pointing at what was becoming a faint scar above our daughter's eyebrow, the bruises almost all faded. Yes, doctors say she was lucky you dash. Henry. It's all right, I swallowed with some difficulty. I'm glad to still have her. I'm grateful you did what you did. But that doesn't mean I don't miss you. And I miss you, always, she made her words sound like a promise. Like she had always done when she told me she loved me. When she called me, the ambulance sirens in the background, she promised to love me forever. And made me promise to love our daughter as much as I had loved her. When I arrived at the hospital, they told me the news. I broke down crying in the middle of the hall. I was too late. My wife was gone. A drunk driver had hit them off the road. She protected her daughter with her own body, giving her life to save another. But I couldn't let her go, which was why I could still see her. I needed her. I didn't want to do it alone. I couldn't. At our wedding we vowed to never let loneliness come over one another again, to be there for each other, to love unconditionally. And the three of us eating cereal, being happy together, it was a lie. I wouldn't mind living for just a little longer. I wasn't ready to let go yet. Who else would remind me to test the milk to make sure it wasn't too warm? I swore as a spider fell on me from the ceiling. I had forgotten to check for anything there. I brushed it off fast and shuddered. It fell to the floor and ran out of sight, but not before I had time to shine my flashlight on it. Its generic gray body confirmed it wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking to capture the Spider King. See, when several rats get their tails stuck together, they're called a rat king. Rumors say this thing is similar, but with spiders. The nuclear radiation in this region had created many freakish mutants. So people didn't doubt a Spider King may exist, and scientists had put out a prize for the capture of this curiosity. That's why I was now wandering these dark catacombs, looking for it. A rat squeaked to my left and my flashlight revealed a spider chewing on it, but it wasn't the Spider King. So I hurried deeper into the catacombs. Finally, I arrived in a large room, and there I saw it. 5 spiders connected together into one being. I ran to the center of the room and managed to catch it in my net, then I dumped it into the container I had brought with me. It was revolting to look at, but I'm satisfied that I managed to catch it. That was when I noticed a bizarre rustling sound around me, and I at once remembered. I had been so occupied with what I thought was the Spider King that I had forgotten to check the ceiling. I raised my flashlight and the beam revealed the most horrifying thing I'd ever seen. The whole ceiling was crawling with conjoined spiders. Hairy legs everywhere. Gleaming inhuman eyes. Raised fangs dripping venom. All in a large mess. And like how a rat king will sometimes have dead rats in it, there were also dead, rotting spiders in the real Spider King. I wanted to puke at this sight, but I was too scared even for that. I saw the exit far off and was about to make a run for it, when the real Spider King suddenly began dropping from the ceiling. Like a rotten carpet, it fell in front of the entrance, and then over me. I screamed, but a spider's legs quickly entered my mouth. I bit them off in fear. They were crawling all over me, the rotten ones running over me. I wanted to scream in pain as they bit me, injecting me with God knows what, but I couldn't for fear of more entering my mouth. Then the thing began squeezing me. My nostrils filled with spiders and I began to choke. My last coherent thought damning myself for not having checked above me. It started simply enough, and I'm sure everyone has been in a similar situation. I awoke to something but had no clue what. I just felt watched. And you know how the dark plays tricks on your vision. A black room can appear to have mysterious visitors outlined in the blackness. It can seem to have any number of nefarious creatures watching you. Like most anyone else has experienced, I heard sounds. It was that usual hum that true silent darkness usually has, but for whatever reason, I noticed something different. That hum wasn't a hum, but whispers. I couldn't understand the faint words being spoken, and I wasn't sure if it was because it wasn't in English or if it was too quiet to be deciphered, but it terrified me to imagine what it was that was speaking in the darkness. That's when I noticed the whispers stop. The real silence actually hurt my ears, but it was the movement that made me grab my phone and turn on the flashlight. My lamp is connected to the light switch on the wall, so my phone was my only light. The gentle glow of the smartphone screen as well as the flashlight on my phone were all that lit the room, and the darkness outside the orb of light that surrounded me began to move and contort. The shadow itself shifted and the whispers returned, sounded more angry than they were before. It was then that the truth dawned on me, and I kicked the blanket off of me and pulled my legs to my chest, being sure to keep all of me covered with the dim light of my phone. Originally, my fear was that there was something in the darkness and it could grab me at any moment, but the realization was sudden and more than terrifying. There is nothing in the darkness to be feared, the darkness itself is alive. Most of us are safe because we are oblivious to it. It's when someone figures it out, the darkness gets angry. The whispers got louder and I understood them now. You hear the voice, you know what's true, now the darkness comes for you. The whispers repeat over and over as I type this. The air around my bed has become thicker the farther from the source of light it is. It's like the darkness itself has mass to it. I tried to get out of bed, and as soon as I lowered my foot, I felt a mass tugging on me. I'm trapped on my bed, the whispers taunting me, separated by a soft chuckle. I can hear scraping on my floor and walls. The ceiling rains dust on me from the darkness moving or pulsing in the room. It wants me because I know the truth. There is nothing to fear in the darkness because it is the darkness itself that is the danger. And now that you know, it will come for you, too.